My name is Elena Shvab and I'm a hat designer based in London. Welcome to my studio. It's in the middle of the day and I'm working on some of the projects, making hats for my clients. And while I'm in the middle of making hats and in the middle of different steps, I came up with the idea of showing you a very easy technique of how to use felt offcuts for decorating your hats. So right now, I'm working on this hat. This is Charlotte Boater. I just blocked it and it's just was taken off the hat block. That's the one. That's the hat block that I used to make this hat. And I had to cut off this piece as I'm not going to use this material because I need sharp edge. So this was used for stretching the boat hat over the hat block and use pins to secure the hat. So this is offcut leftover material that I'm usually not using for making the hat. But as I still have this fabric, I came up with the idea that I would like to show you a very easy but very cool and very beautiful technique, absolutely effortless, of how you can use your offcuts to create beautiful decorations. So depending on the hat that you're making, it could be a smaller hat, so you might have a bigger piece of offcuts fabric, which is quite a lot of material, which you don't need for the making of the rest of your hat, right? So it's usually is going to waste, but it's pretty big piece of material that is, I just can't throw it away, and I wouldn't recommend to anyone to throw this material away, but instead you can use it in order to create beautiful decorations for the hat that you're working on or for the next hat using contrast material. So designing is obviously up to you, but let me show you what can be done. So while this hat is just in the process of making, and let me show you how it's going to look. So this is the original Charlotte Boater. I love it. It's very simple, very beautiful, classic shape. It works with so many different outfits, and because it's also black and has a little bit of ivory, which creates a beautiful contrast. It also can be matched with so many different outfits and colors. So it's absolutely perfect for everyday wear, for casual styling, for brunches, and also for special occasions. And also this hat has an elastic underneath, which I would recommend to stitch for everyone who's wearing hats, because elastic goes underneath your hair and it helps to secure hat on a hat, especially during very windy wear. So something to think about. So, okay, back to original idea why we're here today is how to use this little piece of fabric, transforming it into very beautiful and very simple, elegant way of decorating hats. So because it's black on black, I'm going to use different hats for the contrast. So let's use this one so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this ribbon off. And welcome everyone who's joining right now. Hello. So lovely for you to be here. And what we're going to do and what we're going to need is we're going to need our leftover material, felt. It can be any type of felt. I'm using wool felt. We're going to need spray bottle with regular tap water. We're going to need cotton cloth, and we're going to need steam iron, or it can be dry iron, whatever you have, because using spray on the cloth will create enough steam to soften the fabric. So first of all, I'm going to place the fabric and I'm going to cover it with cloth to protect. First of all, we need to protect the fabric so that the heat of the iron does not burn the fiber. So I'm going to place it and cover with cotton cloth, and I will apply water on the cloth. So water will create steam. That's the sound that we're looking for. So it means that that's enough steam is created, and steam helps to soften the fabric, because after blocking, the felt has its shape. I hope you can see it as black, so it's not really visible, but it's not very straight. So we need to flatten the fabric and we need to straighten it. And this is why using cotton cloth, spray, water and steaming. And I'm really pressing with the iron, giving it some time to warm up the felt. And I'm slightly stretching it. And now it looks perfectly nice and flat. So this is what we have to do with the whole piece, because before we continue making decorations, we need to completely flatten the material, because after blocking, what we have is this, and it's really hard to work with this type of uneven material. So first of all, we're going to make it flat, and then we're going to start creating decorations. So I'm applying steam and pressure of the iron, and I continue doing that for the whole piece. I might also slightly stretch the fabric while I'm steaming it. There, just give it some time. It needs a little bit of time to flatten. And then, well, it's very warm, and because it's very cold today, it's very, very nice, very soothing as well. So I'm letting material to cool down a little bit, because if I start moving material felt while it's still warm, it will start deformating in a way. So I'm waiting for the fabric to cool down so it settles into a shape. And I continue doing the same thing until the whole piece is flattened. So while it's a live tutorial, I would encourage you to please message and comment, say hi, tell me where you're from, why do you like this channel, or if it's the first time you're seeing my tutorials, and what do you like about hats and millinery, what you enjoy the most. I would love, love, love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'm going to tell a little bit about myself. I'm a hat designer with more than 10 years of experience. I have my studio here in London where you can find me most of the time. I make hats for my customers, bespoke orders for special occasions and weddings, as well as casual wear. And I absolutely love what I do. I love making hats. I love seeing people wearing hats. I love wearing hats myself. I also love teaching. So basically everything talking about the hats is my passion and love of my life. So I love sharing the skills and techniques, and happy for all of you to join, and also would love to hear about you. What brought you to hat making, what you love about that. So let's share that passion for hat making. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to help, support, and give my advice to anyone who needs that. And while I was talking, I finished pressing and flattening the felt. So now we have a really nice, flat, beautiful piece. So I'm going to use this hat. So today what I wanted to show you, I mean, there's so many different techniques and skills that you can create using felt and offcuts, but because this is quite a small piece, not like this one, for example, using this piece, we can create flowers, we can create like petals and leaves, twisting them with the felt, with the steam, using them for decorations of the hats and fascinators, pillboxes, all different kind of stuff. Hats, and not just hats. I mean, you can make brooches, you can make beautiful decorations for your outfits. I mean, there's so many different beautiful options that you can use. For this piece, which is quite small, what I might suggest you can do is actually create a really, really beautiful decoration for the brim, headband in a way. So you can use scarves, you can use fabrics, you can use Petersham ribbons, and you can use felt pieces as well. And it might look very beautiful. You also can combine it with different colors, like with an ivory piece, for example, which is a bit not as thick, but a little bit more narrow. So you can combine different colors and widths and play with that. And in order to place it perfectly on the hat, I'm going to curve it just a little bit because the hat has a circular shape and our piece is quite flat. So I'm just going to curve it slightly. And the way I do it, I also place cotton cloth on top, and I'm gonna steam, iron with one hand, and I'm gonna sort of like twist and move the piece, creating slightly circular shape. And then I'm gonna continue doing that. So I'm just gonna show you without the cloth so you can see, but ideally do it with the cloth because otherwise you will burn the material. So I'm ironing with one hand and I'm slightly pulling with the other hand, creating curvy shape. And I can use a little bit of steam to help felt transform. And then you can see this quite a nice curvy area. And what I'm doing, I'm placing it right here around the hat. And because I created the curve, it sits really nicely and perfectly there. So I can cut it right here. Okay. With the scissors. Okay. And so you're going to stitch this part, and what we can do with this, well, we can do a little bit of cutting. Let me just get the board, and I'm going to place the material right here, and I'm going to use, just let me move the camera a little bit. So I'm going to make some cuts on the entire piece right here. Just be careful with the knife because it is very, very sharp. And just making cuts every few millimeters or so. And I'm going to show you in a minute what we are about to do. So it's an example of what can be done. So I've created these cuts right here. Some of them are not very perfect as I'm rushing, which I shouldn't be doing. And there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use, this is like really nice little feature. And I'm going to use steam because steam softens the fabric. Okay. And I'm going to apply quite a lot of steam to make it very, very soft and pliable. And after steaming, I have about a minute or so to play with the material until it becomes stiff again. And then I'm just twisting the material. And I can apply a little bit more steam because it's already cooled down. And with the help of my hand, I am playing with the fabric, making a little flower. And we can place it right here. And with this part, what we can do is using a pen. So I'm going to secure this part as well to keep it in place. And then I'm going to steam this part. I'm gonna give a lot of steam, and I'm using a pen to roll the felt around. Basically, it's using like a blocking tool, and I'm gonna use a little bit of steam. I'm gonna secure it with a pin so it doesn't move. Using a little bit of steam. And I'm holding it like this to let material cool down. and become stiff again, so it can hold the shape, because once the material is still warm from the steaming, it easily moves. But for now, I'm holding it, and now we've created a little lovely curl, which now we can apply back to the hat, secure with a pin. And we have this very nice, very easy to make decoration. So you see, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just playing with the steam and with the pan, and you know, twisting the material in my hand and just seeing what it might lead to. And actually, I quite like it. Look, it's very nice, very beautiful. It's very dynamic in its shape, because we created this little cuts right here, and we twisted in a little bow sort of shape. And you can also use a little pearls or other decorations or little brushes that you might have at home, putting all together, maybe a little bit of veiling that might actually make it very special. Veils are always fabrics for special occasions. So by adding a little bit of veil here, you create sort of like this hat into a special occasion hat. And without the veil, it can be just a casual wear, right? So let me try this on and see how it looks. So what do you think? Do you comment? Let me know your thoughts and opinions, whether you like the technique, and if you ever try to do something like that, or you're familiar with this technique already. I would be happy to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching this live tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps for this channel to grow and for others to learn techniques. And thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I'll see you soon. So do sign up and push the notification button so you don't miss my next tutorial that might happen at any moment, when either I have an inspiration to share some technique with you, or that something's scheduled for the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day. This is Elena Shvab Millinery hat making channel. See you soon.